Army generals.
Shout out to Hate Army.
Your name is Hate Army? Saying Hate Army shit.
Hate Army shout out.
Good vibes to the Hate Army.
Shout out for hate.
And also, here's another critical part. It won't take away from my gameplay. Because I need to do gameplay at this point. I can't be cutting out of my normal schedule. I am already in the midst of 3 ginormous, high-profile new releases. And being in the midst of 3 of them, it's frustrating because I don't feel like I'm playing enough, right? Like Street Fighter 6, I skipped a day. I feel like I'm behind already. Because I skipped 1 day of playing Street Fighter 6. And that's how it is with big fighting games. You have to be like constantly playing them, practicing them, learning. That's just how it is with these competitive games. But then we've got Zelda, which I hadn't played for a week. And I finally jumped back into it last night. Thankfully, I did make good progress last night. But there's people who are voicing their opinions, feeling like the Zelda playthrough now has kind of been left by the wayside and not really enjoying it. Like I actually got a few people who criticized last night's gameplay, saying that, you know, it sucks because everyone else has beaten this game already. And now it feels like I'm just basically getting into the groove of making progress. I'm only going to be playing it like 2 times a week. Well, it might be 3. I guess it depends on the week, honestly. And that's a valid criticism, man. That's absolutely positively a valid criticism of the playthrough, which I knew was going to happen, and I was afraid it was going to happen with all these games coming out at once. And then you got Diablo 4, excuse me, which I'm very much enjoying, by the way. I'm really having a good time with Diablo 4 as a chill stream. But it seems like there's a group of people who are criticizing that playthrough, saying, well, Diablo, you should have played on hardcore at a higher world tier level because your way you're playing it, it's too relaxed. And it's not that entertaining. It's like, well, that was the point. I told you guys all along, as we were talking about Diablo, I said that Diablo would be a chill playthrough. I knew it. I knew the kind of game it was, that it was meant to be more laid back, chill, grindy gameplay. Yes, the story's there, but it's not necessarily the thing that takes the front stage of the game. It's more about the gameplay loop being addictive and fun, looking for loot, leveling up, getting new abilities, changing your build to be better over time. That's actually where the highlight of a Diablo playthrough is. I don't play games for ultra challenge. You know that. There are games I do, like if I'm going to play a FromSoft game or whatever, but not every playthrough for me has to be a hard or heightened difficulty, ridiculous challenge run. In fact, if it was, I feel like my content would not be nearly as good because I don't have opportunity to really have a good interaction with the audience. You know, playing Street Fighter 6 for the last week, I've had almost no opportunity to speak with my audience because I got to focus on the game. So a game like Diablo has become the game to do that. But now there's enough people, oh, that's not good. Now the Diablo playthrough's no good, you know? So it's like you can't please everyone. You know what I'm saying? You just can't. You can't please everyone all the time. And for me, it's hard to juggle all this stuff. It is. It's right now, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm having a good time because the games I'm playing are good. I think Street Fighter 6, Diablo, and Zelda are all really good games. But it's tough when you're juggling 3 games and everyone wants one and you can't give them what they want all the time. On top of that, in 10 days, or is it 11? It's 11 days, isn't it? In 11 days, we got Final Fantasy 16 coming out. And yes, absolutely, I am playing that one. And here we go again, trying to juggle stuff. And what's going to end up happening is we're going to have even less gameplay. Thank goodness I'm going to basically get another whole week of Street Fighter 6, maybe even a little more, before I have to cut down a little bit on Street Fighter 6 to play Final Fantasy. So we're going to talk about all this. All right, we're going to talk about the schedule and everything. But yeah, it's tough right now. It is. It's tough to please everyone, especially when, you know, I'm doing my best to juggle a million games, correct? And they all came out in short term. You know, last month, it was a rush to beat Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster, and Oblivion before we hit this month. But as I was playing those, I was also playing Zelda, right? And I really felt like, you know, Zelda was just one game I was focusing on rather than everyone else on the planet was hyper-focused on Zelda and only playing Zelda and making great progress in Zelda and doing well. And here I am flubbing around in the game, trying to figure out the mechanics of the puzzles, getting shocked by lightning, and having a bunch of people basically taking gameplay out of context of the entire playthrough to try to make me look like a jackass, you know, on the internet and making stupid viral memes about it. And it's like you can't win no matter what you do. If I had skipped Zelda entirely, all I would have gotten were complaints that why did I skip one of the best, highest profile releases of the year? But then I play it, but I can't focus on it because I have to balance a million things. And then I get yelled at, oh, why aren't you learning this mechanic? Why are you playing so shitty in this regard? Why are you complaining about this? It's like, see, you can't have it both ways. You understand? Like, it really can't. And that's the problem. It seems like everyone wants me to be playing these games at some kind of a high level and doing well. And if not, time to make fun of them. Well, I can't do everything for everyone. I can't please every person. I can't play every game. It's tough right now. It really is. Like, I'm happy that we have so many good games to play. I just wish we didn't have them all at once. What happened to the first 4 or 5 months of the year? I mean, just think about it. In the first 4 or 5 months of 2023, we had Dead Space Remake, Hogwarts Legacy, Final Fantasy, excuse me, Resident Evil 4 Remake, right? That's all we had for like 5 months. We had 3 major games, and that was it. And they weren't even lengthy games. When you really think about it, it wasn't like they were insanely long games. I guess you could argue Hogwarts if you did all the side content, but that was it. Where were the good games then? That would have been a great time to have more games to balance out, especially these games that are stacking up to be 100-hour playthroughs. Would have been perfect during that time period. But instead, we got to now have everything all at once, which pulls me in a million directions as a variety content creator, and not being able to focus on one game essentially makes it so that I forget stuff. I mean, last night, I'm in the Goron village in Zelda, right? I'm trying to find a pot to cook food. I can't find it. Now, everyone is like, oh, you ran by it 10 times. Yes, you can see the pot. You want to know why you can see the pot? Because you're not playing Street Fighter 6, Diablo, and Zelda all at the same time. You have one mindset of just playing Zelda. You know what you're looking for. Like, in your mind, you know what the pot looks like, and you know exactly what it is on recognition. For me, I'm playing so much shit at once, I don't even know what the pot looks like anymore. I've forgotten what the cooking pot looks like. So I'm running around town trying to find this shit. I don't know where it is. You know, it is. I feel like I'm scattered right now. I'm scatterbrained with the amount of stuff that I'm doing all at once. And that's what happens, is it makes the playthrough quality dip. Back in the day, when I used to play a bunch of new releases at once, how did I do it? Well, I played one game for 2-3 days and beat it within 3 days. Now, it was an insanely rushed playthrough. It was skip all the side content, skip all the meaningful stuff on the side, just do the main story, beat the game within 2-3 days, on to the next. And that allowed me to be hyper-focused. That allowed me to basically get through a game at a rapid pace, not forget shit and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And that was, in some cases, a lot of people loved it and others hated it. I got a lot of people who love that style of content because I was the guy known for beating games so fast, right? But then there are people who were like, dude, your playthroughs suck because you're rushing through. You miss half the content of the game. So over the years, I evolved. I became an interactive streamer. I became someone who plays game at a lengthy pace, who tries to take in all of the content of a game to give it a better representation in a playthrough. And then what happened? Games became these giant bloated experiences. 100-hour RPGs. There were no 100-hour RPGs 10, 15 years ago when I started on YouTube. It didn't exist. Now it's like every game is aspiring to be that, right? So now I'm supposed to be remembering every little critical thing about every game I play, you know, and then God forbid that something annoys me in a game because, you know, I don't remember a game mechanic from the previous iteration 6-7 years ago, and I say something about it, and now everyone wants to make fun of me on the internet for it. It's like, you just can't win, right? Really. It used to be, you could just play a game, fuck around, say whatever you wanted. It didn't have to be of quality. It could just be fun. Put it out on the internet, people would watch and enjoy it. Now it's like, if you want to make content for the internet, man, you better be doing it in a certain time frame. You better be doing it at a certain difficulty level. You better be doing it in a certain methodology. You better not make a mistake. You better make the game look good at every moment. Don't joke around. Don't make any criticisms. Don't do nothing. You have to be in this one fucking line of content. If you don't make that, your content's shit and you're not worth it and you shouldn't be making content on the internet. Fuck that. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, fuck that bullshit, try hard, you know, get good mentality nonsense. The world is not about that. Video games are not supposed to be about that. Do you understand? Video games are supposed to be about fun. You understand? Fun. If you're having fun playing a game, it doesn't matter if you're good or bad. It doesn't matter if you beat it in this amount of time or this amount of time. If you do all the content or 10% of the content. As long as you're having fun, that's all that matters when it comes to video games, because that's what they're supposed to be. a way for you to get amusement out of life, to escape the realities of your real life and the stresses and all the things that you're doing with or you're dealing with in real life, and unplug from that stressful nonsense for a few minutes and jump into a virtual world. It shouldn't be about, oh, I need to play this game, but by the way, it's 100 hours long, so I need to meter my progress. So every night I'm doing exactly this, and I make no mistakes, and I don't do that. What the fuck is that? What kind of a mentality is it to go into video games like that, right? I feel like you've completely missed the mark if this is who you are. And God forbid you make a mistake. Now everyone's going to make fun of you on the internet. How about you kiss my ass, right? Like, that's ridiculous. I should walk on eggshells when I play Zelda because God forbid I say or do something that might irk a fanboy crowd on TikTok. TikTok can literally lick my shit out of my ass. I don't care about TikTok. I don't care about any of these morons who do this viral shit. It's so fucking nonsensical and means nothing. You know what I mean? It's just complete nonsense. It doesn't have any bearing on anything of reality. Here, are you ready? In one moment, I'm going to destroy the viral bullshit. You ready for this? Here, clip this one, motherfuckers.
Take it easy. We're not making a Western here.
The lightning mechanic in the Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is a complete nonsensical mechanic that's only there to annoy the player. Why? Because it doesn't help the game. What does it do? Does it add any challenge? Well, how do you stop yourself by getting hit by lightning? Take metal equipment off. Okay? And then when the lightning storm passes, you put your metal equipment back on. So what did that add to the game? Did that add significant challenge? Did that add any story progression? Did that add any element of fun, amusement, or even any real challenge? No, nothing. It literally is there to be tedious. It's a tedious thing to say, oh, there's a storm, take my equipment off for a couple seconds and put it back on. There's no point to it. It's just there to say, hey, more content in the game. In a game that's already bloated, in a game that already has more than enough content, they tossed in gameplay elements that are nonsensical and add absolutely nothing. Yeah, it's annoying and it's easy to get around, but at the same time, you have a perfectly valid reason to criticize it. It doesn't do anything for the game. It doesn't make my experience better. It doesn't make it harder. It just makes it more annoying. That shouldn't be in the game. Anything that's in a game just to add annoyance factor, to say, oh, there's more content in the game, shouldn't be in a video game. Because a video game is about enjoyment. It's not about adding levels of tedium to make your game longer. I don't care about the fucking sentient lightning, like Thor's hammer is being raised and it's coming down to strike me out of the sky. It adds nothing to Tears of the Kingdom. It adds nothing to Breath of the Wild. It's a waste of everyone's time. It should be criticized. And if you criticize shit like that, they won't put dumb shit like that in video games anymore. But no one does. Oh, it's Nintendo, so kiss the butt. Oh, Miyamoto. All right, Nintendo, come on. Crap on me some more. Open wide, everyone. Open your mouths and suck on these turds. I just don't understand it. Oh, Miyamoto. Oh, thank you for striking me with your sentient lightning. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Start calling dumb shit out and actually focus on the things that matter. This game, Tears of the Kingdom, has tons of great content in it. Really? Tons of great content in it. It's a great game. Overall, my playthrough, I'm very much strongly praising this game, saying I really like the game. I do feel the game is bloated. I do feel the pacing is off, and it does have a lot of superfluous things like that you have to remember, which is stupid. Why do I have to remember a bunch of tedious little things that just make my playthrough more annoying? Why can't I just enjoy the game at a streamlined pace of what it is? That's really the problem. There's no streamlining or proper pacing in the game because of the way that they've designed it to be truly open world. But hey, overall, I'm having a great time. I'm like 32, 33 hours into the game. I really like it. So why on earth do I become the scapegoat as someone who sucks at the game and basically doesn't like it? It's not true. You've taken one moment out of context of a playthrough and turned it into something it's not for viral popularity. Well, good for you. Didn't affect me in any fucking way. I don't care. And I'm not going to walk on eggshells playing Zelda moving forward. I'm going to play it how I want. I'm going to say what the fuck I want. I don't care about you. And the best thing that I can say to my audience here, all right, it's this simple, all right? Take all that nonsense, that white noise, and take it out of your life. And I mean that. This is going to be personally applying to everyone out there listening. To your own personal lives, you have to take all that nonsense and just ignore it. That white noise shit that you hear, everyone criticizing, everyone making fun, all that nonsense, it's never going to go away. In life, there's always going to be people who try to bring you down. There's always going to be people who try to make you look bad no matter what. You want to know why? because it makes them feel better about themselves. Oh, I didn't get hit by lightning, so haha, now let me make fun of someone who did and laughed and made fun about it. Fuck you. How about get a fucking life and focus on yourself and stop looking at everyone else around you and trying to bring them down so you should feel like a better person, right? I don't care about how other people played Zelda. I'm not watching anyone else's playthrough of Zelda and making fun of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to enjoy the game at my own pace and like it for what it is. I do like it. I really do enjoy it. I have criticisms of it. I have the right to make valid criticisms. You can't tell me that lightning is a good mechanic of the game and it adds anything. It adds literally nothing. It's just an annoying thing you have to remember among a million other things you have to fucking remember, right? It's dumb in that regard. But in life, you're always going to have this element of people who are making this white noise around you. My best recommendation in this case is to ignore it. If you haven't noticed, in the last several weeks, I've ignored all this bullshit. All these idiots on the periphery always talking about DarksydePhil and DSP and this negative about him and that negative about him and that. You notice I don't care. I'm just sitting here. I'm so busy with the stuff I'm doing, right? Trying to finish up those playthroughs in May. I've been so busy with new releases now this last week and a half. I don't give a shit about any of these morons saying this stuff. But what irks me is when I go to play the game again last night for the first time in a week, and I get people coming in saying, "Oh, your playthrough sucks now because now everyone's making fun of you, and now you're joking about it, and now you're not making any progress anymore. Now you don't even remember the game anymore." It's like, yeah, it sucks. It sucks because I like the game, and I know that last month, if I hadn't been trying to wrap up other games, if I wasn't wrapping up Jedi Survivor and Final Fantasy V and Oblivion, if I wasn't in a big like I called it the home court press to finish all that before Street Fighter 6 came out, I probably would have been able to put a lot more time and effort into Zelda, and I probably would be nearly at the end of the game now, like most people, or already have beaten it. Right now it seems like there's two different schools of thought on Zelda. It was an amazing game that everyone played for 2-3 weeks straight beat, or man, that game's so long and tedious and I never got past the first 10 hours and I stopped playing it. I'm not in either boat. Like, I like the game, but I didn't have time to rush through it. So I'm kind of like this unique situation right now where I kind of have to I have to figure out how I'm going to do it. I want to play Zelda, but if the game really is going to take a minimum of, let's say, 60 hours to beat, even if I just adhere to the main story, I'm only 32 hours in. That's another 15, 16 sessions. And I'm only going to be playing it 2 to 3 times a week tops. You tell me I have to play for 3 months? You know what I mean? Like, I really do feel like these games in the modern day have this weird feeling of like self-importance. When you make a game that's 100 hours long, you know what you're saying to the gamer? You're saying, I am what you will play now until you beat me. That's what you're saying. Because if you have a 100-hour daunting game and you play it for 20, 30 hours and you put it down for a week, in another week, are you really going to want to pick it back up again? No, you're going to want to have that momentum. And if you lose that momentum, then you kind of lose your desire to really play it, right? And that's what really, I think, what's going on here with Zelda is it's a game that's so lengthy with the amount of content that it has. It's like, you must play me. And if you don't, you might as well not play me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, either you play it all and you enjoy it right away, or you basically don't play it. And really, I think a lot of these game developers are missing the point at this point. Every RPG should not be 100 hours long. Zelda, in case in point, Zelda was never the RPG that was designed to be 100 hours long. Take a look at where Zelda's roots, right? I mean, yeah, Zelda was an open world or whatever, but Zelda was always a game that you could streamline and you could play and enjoy. And yes, there was always other content, but I mean, to me, I look at it, I'm like, it's a Nintendo game. And Nintendo games, I can't even in my mind think of a Nintendo game that's like, this is the game that you must play for 2 months. You know what I mean? Like, never. Nintendo was always like incredibly high polished quality. The Nintendo seal of approval meant something back in the day. When you were playing a first party Nintendo game, you were playing a game of the utmost polished quality. And you knew that. And it might not be an incredibly lengthy experience, but you knew that was going to be an incredible, memorable experience. You know what I'm saying? Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is like, hey, clear your fucking schedule. You ain't playing nothing for a month, man. It's funny because I see people now who are not hardcore gamers who are just playing nonstop. They're people with lives or whatever. And they're posting up, oh, I'm just finally getting around to the end of Zelda. And they've been playing it since launch. And it's the only game they've played for a month. And they're finally just getting to the end of it, right? So, listen, I get it. At the same time, I really do feel like we're getting to a problem where these games are too long. I don't want every RPG that I play to be 100 hours. Why is it that Zelda, Diablo, Final Fantasy are all coming out within a month and they're all going to be 100-hour games? How does anyone play them all? Like, what is that mentality? If you're someone who's designing a game like that, should you not look around you at the gaming landscape and say, okay, well, I know my game's 100 hours. It's an RPG. I'll release my game in February because I know Final Fantasy's coming out in June. And by the way, Diablo should come out in like October and spread them out. Now, let's all release in a month and now cut into each other. Right? I don't know. It drives me bonkers. Oh, is that true? Dabian says Final Fantasy 16 is 35 hours long. Now, is that just the main story? Or is that the entirety of the game, including side content as well? I'm curious. I should actually look into that. But yeah, like, that's my situation right now, Like, I understand people are frustrated with the Zelda playthrough. So am I. I really wish I could have played it more last month, and I could have put more focus on it, and I could have been less scatterbrained, and maybe I would have remembered the lightning mechanic, and maybe I would remember what a cooking pot looks like, and maybe I would actually care more to learn the building and puzzle mechanics of the game. But to me, it's like I'm enjoying it when I play it, but not being able to focus on it, I don't think I'm ever going to enjoy it as much as someone who could just sit there and play it for 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? No, it's a no-brainer. This game will be in my Game of the Year countdown. It's that good of a game, right? Which is hilarious because if you listen to the fucking TikTok idiots, they think that I'm like, I hate the game or something. They're just morons. That's what they do when they take something out of context for personal gain. They make everything look bad. But to me, like personally, I'm loving the game. Every time I play it, I'm like, oh, I get to play Zelda tonight. Last night, I had a lot of fun exploring the Goron town. We're riding the mine carts around. We actually went to an optional cave by accident and stumbled upon a shrine. Cool. Let's go in the shrine. Let's do that. That element of exploration and surprise and wonder of a big open world is a huge positive for the game. But at the same time, I'm dreading that the rate that I'm playing it, people aren't going to care that much, And I can't just drop everything to play Zelda. There's other games out there people want to see more. I want to play Street Fighter 6. I'm craving Street Fighter 6 right now as I talk. I'm craving Street Fighter 6. I want to play it. I want to play a new character today, right? So that's the thing. Like in the gaming landscape, it's not just about one game, one genre, 100 hours. If they're going to make a 100-hour game, they got to make it worth your while. Sorry, but I'm sorry. In the month of May, I didn't see the benefit in dropping Jedi Survivor and Final Fantasy V and Oblivion so we could just play Zelda for 3 weeks and then never go back to those playthroughs because other new games came out. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, the other thing is that I can't win because if I only, let's say, for example, someone just suggested in the chat, why don't you only play 2 games at a time? Okay? Only play 2 games at a time. Well, as of now, I'm playing 3 to 4 games at a time, and I'm already getting tons of complaints. Why didn't you play this one? Why didn't you play that one? Right now, I'm getting complaints. Why didn't I play the Lies of P demo that came out the other day? When would I play it? Right? I'm here 6 days a week, full-time, streaming for you guys. When am I going to play the Lies of P demo? Right? What about Amnesia the Bunker that just came out on Game Pass? When am I going to play that? You see? There's just no way you can play everything. These days, there's so many games coming out at a rapid pace, and unexpected things that pop up out of nowhere. I can't do it all. Again, back in the day when I started as a YouTuber, things were very different. There actually weren't that many game releases. In a given week, you could on one hand count how many game releases were coming out. That's how it was. Now it's like there's always a million indies, Game Pass games, full retail games, half-priced retail games. There's like 27 games a week. And you have to sift through the pile of games to figure out which ones are the ones even worth playing, and then which ones would fit into a streaming schedule and which ones people want to see. It's tough. It's so very, 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 very different from everything that it used to be. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. I think a lot of people are still living in the past. Well, I don't understand why Phil can't play this game, this game, this game, this game, this game, and this game within a 1-month period, be good at all of them, master all of those systems, not make fun of the game or have a criticism for the game. It's like, what are you talking about? What planet do we live on? It's just not possible. You understand? So anyway, I want you guys to understand I'm doing my best. I am. And it's going to be a stressful month to month and a half here. It is. Trying to play all these hot games and juggle. The thing is, I would much rather be in a situation where I have so much going on and everyone is enjoying the stuff I'm putting out than a situation where there's nothing going on and everyone's bored. I'd much rather have it like it is now. But it does make it a lot more stressful for me. Okay? And I hope you understand that. And what I will say is, listen, you can't stop idiots on the internet from doing and saying what they do. You can't. All right? What you can do is you can let it get to you. I'm not letting it get to me. I'm not even paying attention. I wouldn't have even known about people making fun of my lightning comments in Zelda if you guys didn't come to the stream and tell me about it and try to derail the stream, quite frankly, which a lot of people got banned because they were trying to constantly derail my stream about it. I wouldn't even know about it. I don't pay attention to any of their shit. I don't. There's so many idiots out there. This is what they thrive on drama. They thrive on negativity and toxicity, right? Where's the funny moments montage of Phil playing Zelda where he had a good time or he had a fun boss fight or, you know, here's a mechanic he figured out right away, which happened in the playthrough. Notice that doesn't get highlighted. It's only the one moment that someone feels looks bad or out of context. You know, that's what gets highlighted. And that's what becomes the white noise of the internet that tries to bring you down. In life, you can't let that shit bring you down. You can't. If that was the case 15 years ago, when I first started getting criticism for my videos, I would have quit. When the first This Is How You Don't Play came out, I would have quit. I'm not going to quit based on a bunch of idiots causing drama on the internet. But I'll say this, I'm not going to sit here and talk about it when it's happening because there's no point. You notice, this was like over a week ago when that shit was happening. I purposefully ignored it because I was like, there's no way that I want to deal with that shit when I'm trying to juggle all this other stuff. I'm already stressed out and I know that there's all this good stuff coming. What's the point, right? What you do is you just give them more bait for what they want, right? So, but I just wanted to let you know because now I came back to Zelda last night and I did see a lot of attitudes. I got some comments overnight and everything. People frustrated with the playthrough. You know, I made a comment during the Zelda playthrough last night about the lightning bullshit, you know, and I have the right to do that. I do. I'm sorry. I have the right to criticize the game. You don't have to agree with me. That's fine. If you think I'm off base, that's perfectly fine, you know, but I should have the right to say what I want during my own fucking playthrough and not feel like I'm walking on eggshells, like someone's going to be offended or someone out there's going to make a video about it. I don't give a shit. I never have. I never will. Let them do their own bullshit outside of my streams. If you haven't noticed, it literally didn't affect my streams in any way, shape, or form. We've been having a great time for the last, 2 weeks with gameplay and progress and fun. It doesn't affect shit. So let them do what they want. And they can kiss my fucking ass for all I care. I mean, I'm 41 years old. I've been doing this for 15 years. Your little bullshit is not going to affect me in the least. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Anyway, let's now get back on topic, shall we? Okay, so let's talk about everything going on here. Today we're doing Mano. I'm just going to call her Mano from now on. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce her name. I don't care. No one seems to be giving me a direct pronunciation of her name. I haven't heard her name said. These contributions are mandatory.
Shut the fuck up!
Tipping me helps me more than anything.